Hi everybody, Gary Francione for the Abolitionist Approach. A question I often get is whether I think euthanasia, or killing animals, can be morally justified. And the answer is, yeah, in certain circumstances I think it's not only morally justifiable, but morally obligatory. Let me say from the outset that when we talk about euthanasia, we should never apply that term in situations where we're killing healthy animals. Euthanasia is properly used only in situations where death is in the interest of the animal who is dying. So when I read about shelters euthanizing animals, well, if they get animals in who are injured or diseased and can't be helped, then their killing those animals is euthanasia. But when they're just killing animals that they can't find homes for, that's not euthanasia, that's killing. Okay? Death is never in the interest of a healthy animal. So therefore we should never talk about euthanizing healthy animals. Okay? Because the expression euthanizing, or applying it to healthy animals, is an attempt to make that practice morally better, morally acceptable. It's not. Killing healthy animals is never morally justifiable. It is always morally wrong. Okay? So euthanasia, properly applied, concerns only those situations in which death is in the interest of the being who is dying. Now, if you have dogs, cats, whatever sort of non-human companion you have, and they get ill, they get cancer, or they get injured in some way, and there's really nothing you can do to help them, and they're in pain, to me, it is not actually even a particularly difficult question to say that in those situations, killing the animal is morally justifiable. Indeed, in situations where the animal's really in pain and there's nothing you can do, I would say morally obligatory. Now, I realize that some people disagree with that. For example, I have friends in the Jain community. Jains do not believe that that even an injured or a dying animal should be killed, that you just have to wait until the animal dies on the animal's own. I don't agree with that. I think that when an animal is in pain, when an animal has a disease that can't be dealt with, or is injured in a way that where the animal cannot be helped, then I think that it's not only morally justifiable, but it's morally obligatory. Now, when do you make that decision? That's always really very difficult, and people ask me all the time, what's the right time? And the answer is there is no right time. You live with, in many of these situations, these are animals who are non-human companions. They are members of your family, and you just have to make the decision when you think it's right. What I have tended to do is to try to determine, at what point is there really no quality of life. At what point would I, if I were in that animal's situation, want to leave? That's the best you can do. There's really no perfect time. I think, many people, I think, leave it too long. Some people do it too quickly. Some people are told that the animal is ill and that the animal will have X months left, and to the extent that there'll be quality of life there, then I don't think you should kill an animal where there's appreciable quality of life. Once that ends, once there is no quality of life, once the animal is no longer eating or engaging in a way where that this animal is really there's really no quality of life there, then I think it's not only okay, but it's the right thing to do. Look, domestication is horrible. I disagree with it. I love, we have 6 wonderful canine companions, and nobody on the planet loves interacting with dogs more than I do. And if there were 2 left on the planet, and it were up to me as to whether or not they continue to breed so that we could have pets, the answer is absolutely not. I'm totally opposed to domestication. And one of the messes that animals make, one of the moral messes that animals make, is because we live with them, we domesticate them, we've treated them as things, we now have lots of them around, they need homes, is that we have to confront these moral problems. There's really no really satisfying answer, but we have a moral obligation to deal with it as best we can. So, do I think euthanasia is okay? And the answer is Yes, I do, and I think it's even morally obligatory in certain circumstances. But remember, death is never in the interest of a healthy animal. So whenever we're talking about killing healthy animals, we're not talking about euthanasia. We're talking about killing. For information about veganism, please go to our website, howdoigovegan.com. We're hearing some reaction to this video. And thank you very much for listening.